everyone. I'm excited that we are going to have another guest with us today. Sarah, you want to introduce her?
Actually, let's have her introduce herself. Tell us about you.
I am Kirsten Zeigler. I am owner and founder of KDZ HR Consulting. I'm an HR consultant for female-founded small businesses and startups so that they can remove their people hat and really focus on growing their business.
That was very well done, my friend.
Thank you.
That was a good pitch. Are you ready for your first question?
So ready. I'm so ready.
All right. What are 3 things that you're really good at?
I'm really good I'm good at baking, love baking, and wasn't good at it starting, got good at it. So not cooking, but baking is something I'm good at. I think making people feel comfortable is something I'm good at, and making plans.
Aw, those are good ones.
Thanks.
What is your favorite color and how does it make you feel?
Red. Red is my favorite color. So I've always, since I was born, red was my favorite color. Like when I was little, I used to always be like, I want red shoes or I want red this. And so
Interesting.
it's just like been something that I've always been drawn to. And it just makes me feel like me.
I love that.
I love that.
I do too. That's a great answer.
Funny story though around that. My parents were like crazy hippies. They were going to name me Red. And like, of course I didn't know that because I was like a child baby, but like
meant to be
loving Red. Yep. Yeah. So totally meant to be.
That's so cool.
That.
Meanwhile, I'm like, my parents were going to name me April and they settled with Amanda. I want a cool story. My parents almost named me a color. So cool.
Just make it up. No, mine is true. I want to be clear. Mine is true. But
So what time did you wake up this morning?
I woke up at 6:45. That is the time I am waking up every day because I got a puppy a month and a half ago. So
Sarah, your next question better be what kind of dog and what's its name?
Oh yeah, we can do that. Tell us about your pets. What pets do you have in your house and what are their names?
Well, Ruby was right behind me in the beginning of this. She's my cat that is my soulmate. I have another cat named Olive. And then my husband and I got a dog named Penny. She's 4.5 months old. She's a Black Lab Pyrenees mix, and she is growing rapidly. Like, I can't even, describe the growth that's going on.
That is amazing.
So cute.
I want another dog. I want another dog now, actually. So, what is some of the worst advice you've ever received?
I think some of the worst advice I've ever received, both personally and professionally, is to be quiet. Nothing angers and enrages me more than, especially when it's coming from men, to a woman. But I mean, my advice to people is always to speak up for things that they believe in. And so I think being told to be quiet is just bad advice.
That's good.
That's a good one. What are you most insecure about when it comes to posting video online?
Everything. Everything. My voice, first and foremost. I'm very, as you could tell, very expressive. I talk with my hands a lot. So I'm constantly moving. If it's a video of myself talking, the captions, I'm like, oh, did I say anything weird? Does it make sense? Is it too annoying? Is it too much? So, it's almost like I try not to think as much when I do it and just be like, if there's a mistake, whatever, I don't care, because if I hyper focus, I'm going to start picking it apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many text messages do you send in a day?
I have no idea. It's a lot, especially because my phone's hooked up to my computer. So typing them out is just so quick and easy throughout the day that it's probably hundreds.
Welcome to the club, sister.
I'm going to twist this one for you because of what you do with your HR hat. So, what are most people most nervous about when they make their first hire?
Um, the money. How am I going to pay for this person? And not only that, but the responsibility of being in charge of somebody's livelihood, especially if it's a full-time employee, right? Because you have someone then that's only making money from your business. Um, it's scary. I completely understand. But the whole point of hiring someone is that so you can grow and your business can make more money, and eventually that employee will pay for themselves even if they're not directly tied to revenue. Like if they're an operation function, they'll be able to allow the freedom for you to make more money. So I always think if you have enough work for someone else to do, it's a good idea.
That's awesome. Other than what you do right now, what is your dream job?
Okay, this is so easy for me to answer. I want to own, operate, work at a wedding venue in the woods. Like very specific.
Okay.
I know what it looks like. It's like very like garden vibes. Like I want it to be secluded and beautiful and welcoming, and just like it doesn't even have to be just weddings, like events also, but like that is my dream in life.
I feel like you're manifesting this on this call. That was very descriptive, my friend. That was good.
I mean, I have it all like built out too. Like I have like the plans and everything. So it's just, a matter of time, hopefully.
How fun. How did you meet your longest friend?
My longest friend, his name is Derek. Shout out Derek. His mom and my mom were best friends, and they met each other when they were like in their 20s, I think, and lost touch for a little bit of time. And during that time, both had kids. That just happened to be the same exact age, me and Derek, and so we've just like he's like my brother. Him and his brothers are like my brothers now.
That's awesome. What advice would you give yourself 5 years ago?
I think there's a lot. I think that the one really around my business though is probably like you don't have to be put in a box, basically. Like think outside the box and commit, right? Like those are the things. I remember going to like an HR training, and it was like hosted by an HR consultant. And I was like, I want that job because I like the idea that she gets to talk to so many different businesses and have these kinds of opportunities. And I asked her like, how do I do what you do? And she's like, time. It really just takes time. Like you need to gain more experience. And so I did within the past 5 years but I'm glad I made the jump earlier than like she kind of insinuated. So yeah.
I love that you asked her that question, how do I do what you do? Because I can remember in my 20s, the first time I worked for a company and I met consultants who were helping our company, like thinking exactly that, like, whoa, how do you do that? And I didn't ask anyone. I just started creeping online and like looking at their website and thinking like, I could do this. But I love that you asked and then created a game plan for yourself. That's really cool. Okay,
Thanks.
what's your usual bedtime?
It's usually like 10-ish. I have a whole routine that lulls me to sleep that involves like reading, a sunset lamp, and like a cat on like each shoulder, basically. So
That sounds heavenly.
it starts around 10. It's delightful.
What is your best relationship advice?
It's communication is so important. And figuring out, it could be in personal relationships, romantic, it could be in, working relationships, but figure out how the other person communicates and try to figure out a way for you to communicate together then based on those two things.
That's good.
I like that. What advice do you have for someone who's just starting out in business?
In their own business or just like in a business?
Well, that's a good question. Whatever you want.
I think I'll answer both. If for somebody who's like just starting out, like they got their first job, I think it's important to learn from everyone around you as much as humanly possible and just absorb. You're a sponge at that point. And so like what you learn in one job is going to be different from what you learn in the next job. Take all of those little bits and let it mold who you are. When you're starting out in your own job, it's kind of similar, like crowdsource, you know, like lean into people and their strengths where you can. Meet people who do things that you know nothing about, to like just have in your toolkit and just have conversations.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
What did you eat for breakfast?
What did I eat for breakfast? Oatmeal. I was like, when was that? What time is it?
The vortex of entrepreneurship. It's so funny. I also have a food question. What's your go-to road trip snack?
Oh my God. Okay, it's usually pretty boring. It's like a trail mix of some sort. Like, I feel like I need some like sustenance usually, and so like nuts and dried fruit is that like perfect combo. But also like a coffee. Like I need lots of beverages and lots of bathroom breaks.
Yeah.
What is one of your biggest pet peeves?
People who aren't themselves. I really am like attracted to people that are themselves, like so uniquely them, that it just drives me crazy when people try so hard.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's probably mine too, actually. Now that I think about it. That's a really good one. That drives me crazy also.
Another one of our favorite questions to ask is, if you could donate $100,000 to any cause or charitable organization, where would you donate it?
Something that has to do with like, there's so many things like ethics, equality. I, you know, believe in like fair chances for everyone and support for all kinds of people. So anything that has to do with like that, yeah. There's just so many out there too that are like so siloed. I couldn't name one.
I know. I regretted mine after we did my interview. I was like, I should have said something with animals. I love dogs, and I should have said something with dogs. Just if I ever have $100,000, just know that I will give it to dogs. Okay? 'Cause I said something totally.
Just goes to the dogs.
But there are so many great ones. You did it. How did you feel like you did?
So much fun.
Isn't it fun?
I could do this for hours. This is so much. But then I wanted to be like, what about you guys? That's my only gripe. This is my only gripe here.
Well, we do have ours posted on the channel, so you can go listen to our answers. We started there. We asked each other questions from our list. So definitely go check out our videos in the channel. We have had tons of other fun guests as well. And if you want to connect with this beautiful guest, make sure you get all of her information in the description box down below. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell for notifications every time we drop a new video on Wednesdays. We also have a podcast, which is totally separate content, and you can find that, Big Brave Business, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you next time.